will call the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for July 16, 2019 to order. First, we have the reading and approving the minutes. Do I have a motion to dismiss the reading and approve the minutes?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next, we have the payment of claims. Claims this time were $98,976.90. It's about the lightest I've ever seen. At least I can remember. Have we had a lower one?
We have. I think one time we had one in the 50s.
So not a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
Did you have anything you wanted to talk about in the claims?
No. The only thing with that is sometimes they just, the way that they fall, we're going to have light halves, so to speak. So I just let the department heads know at the department head meeting this morning that we're coming up on one that's going to be longer. There's going to be 3 weeks in between time. So expect the next one to be quite a bit heavier. And also that puts us in the situation where we may have some of the checks crossing in the mail, so we're gonna get a bill and it's gonna say we're late, but we're not really late. So that's a fun part of Lori's job, whenever this 3-week thing happens. But next one will be heavy because of that.
Gotcha. Does the board have any questions?
No, that makes sense. Thanks for explaining that.
You're welcome.
Is there any questions from the public? Comment? All right. Do I have a motion to accept the payment of the claims?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next, we have the payroll approval. We have June pensions, $94,441.55. And then we also have a quarterly clothing allowance, June once a month, and July 5th regular payroll. So as far as these payrolls go, this is one of the things that we're changing in the format. Historically, payroll didn't go through the approval process of the Board Works, and that's something that we were told that we should be doing in this board. So we're starting those. Since this is the first one we've done, does the board have any preference on when we have multiples like this? Do you want to take them individually or do payroll as one? And Tish, do you know, did they mention or give any direction on? I don't think they went to that level of detail at all.
They really didn't. When he says they, he's talking about the State Board of Accounts. This was something that they brought up when we just received our audit, our 4-year audit, that they would prefer we do. They just want to make sure that you've looked over them, that we have them all in a packet, that you can see the individual name and earnings for every employee for that time period, and that you've signed off on it. It's just a second, third, and fourth set of eyes.
Regular
So,
payroll. This one.
I think that you could probably okay them as a whole if you are okay with them when there's more than one. Or you could separate them out if there's one that you're okay with and one that you're maybe not okay with.
Okay.
Mr. Kern, is there anything that you feel that we need to separate them for?
I mean, they're pretty clear. I mean, hell, it doesn't really matter. So.
It's all payroll.
Right.
You just have it broke down into
As
individual.
long as you're listing who, what, how much.
Is there any questions from the public on what we're doing? Okay. I take it, did you have any preference in doing individual approvals? You want to do individual?
Just until we're a little more comfortable and familiar with it, I would prefer to do it individually for now.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
We can amend that later. Thanks, guys.
No problem. I got no problem with that.
You knew that.
All right, let me take a look through here real quick. Does the board have any other questions for Tish or
I
council?
think she explained it pretty well.
Kristen, I would recommend, because I know you have a great attention to detail, and I think that's awesome. If you wanted to take these or these bi-weeklies, and just start your own Excel spreadsheet and put the amounts in there, if you start paying close attention to the amounts, this bi-weekly is $177,000. If you just start kind of comparing the amounts.
Yeah.
If there's something that's pretty off, that would be where you would say, hey, I saw last 2 weeks it was 177. And sometimes you're gonna notice that right now we're running at full staff with our seasonals, our mowing crew, things like that. After this season, it's gonna go down and you're gonna see, why is it only 150 or, something like that.
Gotcha.
And so that sometimes I just put them next to each other and say, oh, something's definitely different, so.
That's really helpful, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have once a month payments, for like the city council.
If people that get paid once a month are city council, crossing guards when they're working, but right now school's out, so they're not working. And Jamie Arthur from the Civic Center also gets paid once a month. Oh, excuse me, I forgot one. And Elizabeth, the city judge.
Oh, I can see it on there.
Yeah, she gets paid once a month also.
All right, so now we've had a chance to look at that, look that over. We'll take it one at a time. The June pensions, the $94,441.55. Is there any question on June pensions? Any question or comment from the public? Do I have a motion to accept the payment of the June pensions?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Quarterly clothing, kind of hard tongue twister. Quarterly clothing allowance at $16,184.91. Was there any questions on the clothing allowance? Any question from the public? I have a motion to accept the payment of the clothing allowance.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have the June once a month payments, $6,972.95.
I haven't seen that.
We already did that one.
We did the June pensions and the clothing allowance.
We did the June pensions.
Yeah.
You're correct. Thank you.
It was once a month.
Thanks, guys.
Is there a question from the public on the once a month payments? Any questions from the board?
Nope.
All right, we have a motion to accept the once a month for June payments.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And then we have the July 5th regular payroll of $177,942.86. Is there any questions from the board on the July 5th?
Is this a bi-weekly?
Yes. Bi-weekly, correct?
Yes.
Is there any questions from the public? All right. Do we have a motion to accept the payment of the June 5th regular payroll?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Next, we have blight claims, and we do not have any blight claims. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Then we have the city attorney's report.
All as well.
Sounds good. Under communications, we have none, and under unfinished business, we have none. So we'll go to new business. I don't see Tom Luke here, but he's from the Peru with a roadblock request at Maine and Miami for Saturday, September 21st, 2019, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The fundraiser is a benefit for Riley's Children's Hospital and other local youth projects. usually, take the roadblocks and speak to the people doing this. Is that something we've done in the past with Kiwanis, or is that a newer one? I don't recall.
For them doing it, but I'll meet them down there and set them up.
Okay.
Do we know what they're planning to do?
I assume it's, if it's at the corner of Main and Miami, it's where they stand and,
Yeah, Bucket Brigade type thing.
yeah.
Okay.
And we have a packet that we give to those folks and have them follow our guidelines on doing fundraisers on that intersection. Police chief, any comments or concern? Okay.
I can't tell you, if they come into my office and with a request like this, I give them that packet with the protocol in it. This was just in my mailbox. I did not see this person, so I wasn't able to give them that protocol. So maybe, Todd, you have copies of those also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, Todd, are you gonna reach out to,
Yeah, I'll get a hold of them.
okay. And just so you know, he has not received that packet yet.
I have his phone number and his email address on the
You do?
request.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give that to you after the meeting.
Fire, do you have any? Okay. All right, is there any other questions from the board? Any question, comment from the public? Do I have a motion to accept the Peru Kiwanis Club request for permission to the fundraiser at the corner of Miami and Main?
So,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and then we have, it says the chief ought to be here, but I'm assuming Mr. Dane, you'll be answering questions or presenting?
Answering questions, whatever you need.
Okay, we just received a new tanker. It's tanker 10,
Yes.
okay? And so the city, and I guess, you could talk about this, typically rely on fire hydrants,
Yeah.
so.
No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Basically what this is, we cover Peru Township. That's where the bulk of our money comes from for our department. So it's been about 6 years ago, we promised them we were going to get them a tanker, because most of their territory we cover is outside of where we have fire hydrants and stuff. So that makes us rely on outside departments to bring us water. We do a pretty good job with their 2 engines. I mean, we haul 2,500 gallons with those. So on most small structure fires, we can get there and get them out and really don't need the extra water. But there's always that occasion where maybe it's a bigger, maybe it's an industrial site or something that's out in that area that we can't get to with hydrants. So we purchased a 3,000 gallon tanker. It's in at Station 1 right now. We did get it all picked up and put in service. And basically, these are the SOPs that we're going to run under inside our hydrant carrier coverage and outside of our hydrant coverage. So inside our hydrant coverage, the truck will never go out as a first out truck. If we get out and maybe we'd have a hydrant or something go down, we might use it. But outside, engine 1 and engine 2 will still go, but we'll leave one person back to bring that truck along with us, so it'll respond initially out in the township with us. If we need it, fine. If not, that person gets out of that truck and helps us fight the fire. If not, then they'll start hauling water to us to help replenish our water supply. And basically, it just goes through our operations of running the truck, the rules and regs that we put in, the people that are in charge and on that truck for the time. If we're short-staffed, we're probably still going to take that truck, because most of our fires in the territory are out north of town, so Station 2 is going to respond with their full load of guys there, and we'll respond from downtown. We can always leave one person to take that truck and just run one short on an engine if we're happen to be short for that day due to illness or call-off. So we have planned for that. Now, if we go out of our territory, which is considered mutual aid, basically that would be if we went outside the city limits of Peru or outside of our fire territory, say to Mexico, Denver, Pipe Creek, which we have mutual aid agreements with all those departments. So if they call for our help, we go help them. If they call for our help, we come and help. They come and help us. We had three different departments when Grant Furniture burnt, that were from outside of the city, so we do have the mutual aid agreements in place. Now, with that being said, we put it in these SOPs. If they would call and it's dispatched through 911, that truck will not leave the station until we bring 2 other people in. So basically, we're going to pay overtime for 2 other people to come in, and once they're in the station, then that truck leaves. The premise for that is we're not going to short the people that's paying our taxes, on fire coverage and or our medical coverage. So that's the biggest part probably in this SOP, that we don't leave the station until we're backfilled and ready to go. No matter if we're fully staffed that day, we're not going to short the citizens of Peru to go help other departments. So, and usually when we go out on that situation, they're putting water on it to put it out. It's not, we're not saving much at that point in time. If you're in a rural situation like that, you're hauling water from multiple departments, you're there just to help, just to help them replenish their water supplies. So basically, in a nutshell, that's what our SOP, is going to stand for. It had to go through you guys to make sure that we brought it to you guys, so it is a guideline, so we never have a department come in and say, hey, you didn't respond that way. No, we got it right here in writing. That's exactly the way that we told you we were going to do it. So, and once you guys approve these, we will get with the other departments that we have mutual aid agreements with and go over this with them, that, hey, when you call, it could be 15 minutes before we're pulling out of the station with that truck, just to let you know. So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, with the mutual aid, do they often need a tanker?
And usually, when we go north, there's a lot of times where we're there with our engines with mutual aid before we would ever take a tanker. And we pretty much decided in-house and how we run that is, we run it just like we would if that tanker wasn't sitting at our station. We're not going to respond with an engine or 2 engines and a tanker to, say, Mexico to help fight their fire. Now, we will take our engine out and help them, and we've done it several times, but there again, the station ought to be backfilled before we'd ever leave town with that tanker, so.
Gotcha.
And it's just kind of a protection for us and for the city, We have to go, and we're going to go help. If somebody's house is burning, we're going to take what we can to help them out, but the guideline on the tanker we're not going to respond, a full response to Mexico and leave the city with nothing, so.
Is this pretty standard in other departments?
Pretty much, yeah. We kind of talk around. Volunteer departments are a little different because they just go wherever, whenever.
Right.
They really don't have a whole lot of guidelines, and a whole lot of aid departments really don't have a whole lot of tankers. We haven't had one. I've been on 25 years. We haven't had one the whole time I've been on, and I think the last one we had was probably in the late 70s. It ended up just sitting out at the street department when they disbanded it, so it's been a while since we've had one, so.
Yeah, and I guess just to reiterate for the audience and maybe people watching at home, we have a fire territory, so we are contractually obligated to cover for the entirety of Peru Township, which goes beyond our city boundaries. And then Peru Township is the one that funds our city fire department. So obviously within the city we have hydrants. I think there may be some hydrants outside the
There is
city.
some, we get up north and we go out south, we go out Smithfield Way if we have to go out there and help.
Yeah.
And, basically we're covered clear up past Parkview Heights and a little bit down Mosley.
Gotcha.
Going out Riverside, there's a couple down Riverside, and definitely we go clear out to the North Miami Industrial Park. There's hydrants clear out to there.
Mhm. And your engines do carry an amount of water that they can get there and start.
We can get there and start, and plus also we carry 1,200 feet of large diameter hose on the back too. So if we would say have a fire out in a territory, Hidden Hills, we would hook that hydrant in front of Hidden Hills with 2 trucks. We can pretty much get a lot of places in there. At least we got a supply of water. If we needed it, we could plan that away. So, and this truck does have a little firefighting capabilities to it. We did it just because if we ever had a need, if every truck we had went down, we could figure out a way to make it work. But it's really made just to haul water. So.
So, is there any questions from the board? Any questions from the public for police or fire? Thank you.
You're welcome.
there's no questions, do I have a motion to accept the Tinker 10 SOPs?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the motion passes. And next we have clerk treasurer opening demolition bids for the following properties in the blight elimination program. So if you want to open it up, I'll read off the addresses for the audience and people at home. 106 West 10th Street, 222 East 8th, 435 East Washington Street, 308 Loveland Avenue, 71 West Riverside Drive. So,
Brenda, did you want to tell us anything about these before I read these?
This should be the final set of homes. 3 of those are marked on your sheets with asterisks. There are funds left over from previous demolitions, and we have to do closeouts on each one of those homes first. The hope is that we'll have enough to fund all 5 of these homes. There shouldn't be a problem there at all, but it's just a matter of going through and making sure that all of the funds are accounted for and can be rolled into the new properties. As of now, the IHCDA has approved these homes. They're just waiting on confirmation of funds.
okay. So, 435 East Washington, 308 Loveland, and 71 West Riverside, those are contingent on funds.
Correct.
Okay. And then 106 West 10th, 222 East 8th, those are set up and ready to go.
Yes.
Okay. And I believe we had one packet
We
returned?
have one packet from Merritt and Sons Excavating. Thank you, Brenda.
And were they able, I know they were in conversation with you earlier, were they able to get the completed packet?
He was by way of certified check. So it says in here that you either have to have a bid bond or a certified check, and the bid bond was running a little late for him, so they enclosed the certified check.
Oh, okay.
I would like to just accept his bid though, so that we can make sure everything, all the forms, there are a ton of forms in that bid package, but Merritt's has been our contractor in the past. I don't believe that there's going to be any problem at all, but it'd be nice to be able to review it.
Do you mean take under advisement?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah,
That.
gotcha.
That.
Yeah.
All right, Station, would you like to go ahead and open and tell us what we got?
Yeah, so for 106 West 10th Street, the bid is $10,500. 222 East 8th, the bid is $13,200. 435 East Washington, the bid is $15,000.
15?
Excuse me, 15, yeah. 308 Loveland, the bid is $14,200. And 71 West Riverside, the bid is $18,000.
That's an expensive.
Yeah, these are some of the more expensive ones we've had.
That brings the total to $70,900.
Okay. And, we are taking it, I assume, under advisement, if that's the board.
Yeah, I agree with her. There's a lot of people still need to be filled out.
Accept it, yeah, accept them and take them under advisement.
Okay. Would that be two different motions?
No, just accept the bids and as is and take them under advisement and award at a later date.
Okay. Alright, is there any questions from the board for Brenda or the council or anyone?
If these last 3 properties are contingent upon fund availability, if we only get partial funds, is there a way that we determine which of these properties we're going to do something with that?
Is there a priority list on those 3?
435
That's a way better way to ask, thanks.
435 East Washington is a priority. It's been on our radar for a very long time. 308 Loveland and 71 West Riverside were recently acquired. It'd be great to have them all taken down. And I really do believe that the funds are there, but 435 East Washington of the three will be accepted more readily. It's near Eck Park. If you're familiar with where that is, the soccer park. It's within a half a block of that. It's on the cross street that you travel on to get to Eck Park. So I'd like that one to be gone.
Through the blight elimination program, we give those properties over to a nonprofit. Which nonprofit is in receivership for that one by Eck Park?
That is a new partner. St. Vincent de Paul has signed on as our program partner for this round. So we're excited to have them partner with us.
Do you know, because I know during soccer season, it's very hard to find any parking in that area. I wonder if that lot, has it been looked into, or is it mentioned at all that lot might be used for parking during if it's right next to Eck?
It would be great as parking, because parking is hard to come by in that area during soccer season. Currently, there's a concrete pad, because in the past, the city had to demolish the garage structure. We left the pad in place, so it's a nice parking spot there. It would be nice to increase that with the house as well. Totally up to St. Vincent de Paul, but it would be a great suggestion.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Any question or comment from the public? All right. Do I have a motion to accept and take under advisement the bids for the blood elimination program?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Was there anything else to come before the board?
I have nothing.
Okay. If there's nothing else, then I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, folks.